Is it possible to beat this today, or is it gonna require me until next time? Why is there 10 save slots? I feel like I was after this. That's correct. This is actually the most recent save. I can't believe that Iku is dead. Yeah, so Yomu was trying to argue. Yeah, so the first thing was the sword. Yomu was at the box. Then she was trying to argue that it was Yomu. Now Kogas was trying to argue something else. Girls are not testifying. I was pacing around in my waiting room, waiting for my turn to perform to come up. All of a sudden, I heard shouting from the room next to mine, Iku's waiting room. Shouting. Took me by surprise, so I ran over to this room, and this horrible sight greeted me when I stepped in. I mean, it was likely framed, right? Like, I'm expecting the whole plot of this is that Iku's not actually dead. Go. It's frozen in place for a bit, then I realized I should go get help. I ran over to let everyone know. And you're sure that's everything? Yes, that's it. No lies or speculation or anything else this time. Alright then. However, I do not think this tells us anything new in particular. Well, that ain't wrong. Oh yeah, Marissa stabbing Renosuke in the cock. That happened. Something like we've been overlooking we've all been overlooking something. What do I got here? For information, I should refresh my mind. Didn't you want to see the other contestants' tricks? That's because I was doing all I could to keep my stage fright under control. If I saw what I'd have to compete with, it could make it even worse. Still got a long way to go before she could shock anybody. Shouting. What kind of shouting? It was like, "What are you doing?" That sort of thing. Someone was being attacked. In other words, that was the moment of the murder. Yes, I think so, dude. What if Iku is actually dead? Like, I am acting like 90% under the assumption that Iku is actually alive. This is her plus maybe someone framing, like, setting this whole thing up for their own advantage. What if she is actually dead? Yes, I think so too. So you went into Iku's room, didn't you? Right. When I opened the door, everything was just like you all saw. Why would it be unlocked? If it wasn't for her trying to get people to find her, or someone broke in. Well, if you were confronted with such a scene without warning, anybody would get a huge shock, I'm guessing. Oh yes, I felt my heart was gonna give out. Seriously, thought I was gonna die on the spot. Did you got any self-awareness as a boogeyman at all? You didn't do anything in here. I was so frightened I had no idea what I should do. Everything went blank inside my head. I couldn't move a muscle. Yeah, that's just how it goes when you stumble upon a dead body after all. Oh well, what can you do? This guy here would swoon and faint. So I guess he's a bit different. A bit of a different type from Kogasa. Remember you looked like death back then. I guess I must have. But I'd like to see you keep your cool after seeing something like this. Well, what can I say? Seems like you had a rough time. Oh yeah. Look back together surprisingly fast. Seems like this is all we'll be getting out of Kogasa. Sounds like it. And is there anything to this in the story that clears up this mystery? Maybe there is, maybe there ain't. Remix of Touhou piece? Yes, I figured out what this was last time. But I don't remember what I said. I'd have to go back to the stream last time, because I answered it. I can't remember off the top of my head what I said it was. Just hedging your bets, aren't you? I mean, you could try to make yourself useful. Solving such an incident is outside my purview. Well, if there's an incident you could solve, I'd love to see that. Pacing around by waiting. Hey, okay. What am I arguing for here? That's not what I wanted to... I did not click this to throw that. Well, I wanted to put that here. Haha. Yep. Looked like there was still a lie left in your testimony. Eh? What are you talking about? Aggressive music. You know about the doors of these waiting rooms too, obviously. Of course, Buddha's. Then can't you see that your testimony makes no sense? Ah, you mean? Yep, it wasn't possible. Vegas Night. Yeah, that's this one. Right. You shouldn't have been able to get into this room. God, what's up with that? I don't know. I grabbed the door's handle without thinking, and it just opened. That's impossible! These doors unlock themselves. At this point, there's only two explanations I can think of. One, that the door got stuck somehow and hadn't closed properly. Or two, that Kogatsu's been lying to us. That's not it! I'm not lying! So you say, but me. I say that's a lot more likely than the alternative. Why? Something could just wedge in the door. Whichever it was, there's still another problem with your story. As soon as you heard Iku scream, you rushed into her room. Ain't that right? That's right. I couldn't leave her alone. Then, why wasn't the murder still in the room? Well, it was okay. It's because they ran away. Ran away where? There's no way they could have escaped without being seen by you.
What if it's Nue and she's hid herself as a lamp in the room? The Nue. It's finally time for Nue, right? Surely, like 12 cases later, 14 cases into it, it's Nue.
That's... Oh there, Marissa. All you're doing is add more mysteries. Truth slips ever further from us. Don't worry about a thing. Look, there's one solution that solves all these mysteries. And, what is it? I'm gonna say it straight out. The killer was you! What? Why? How? If Gus was the killer, that makes perfect sense. She'd say she never saw the killer in her story. No murderer would ever confess to a crime like that. That doesn't explain how she entered the room, does it? No mystery at all if Iku's still alive. Kogasa had already be in there with her when Iku screamed. All she have to do is come up with a pretext to get Iku to open the door. As soon as Iku let in the room, Kogasa killed her and set herself up as the one who discovered the body. Why would the body disappear, though? And with that, all the mysteries have been solved. You can't be serious. Now get on your hands and knees and admit your crimes. Yeah! Justice prevails. It's not gonna be this simple. You're wrong! It wasn't me! Now, please don't panic. If you lose your composure, you'll be done for. But everything's gonna be fine, so can you stick both your hands out for me? Oh shit! Like this? Thanks much. You're under arrest for the murder of Iku. Okay, we're gonna have to defend Iku. We're gonna have to defend Kogasa, right? Basic as ever, you solved the case in record time. Naturally, our work here is done. They don't call me the fastest in Gensokyo for nothing. You didn't do anything. No, I'm the one who didn't do anything. Anyway, case closed, and that's tomorrow's headline taken care of.
Ada.
You police certainly don't waste any time. This is how the fastest Gensokyo earned her title. I don't like you. Well, all in the day's work. Can't ever tell if she's playing dumb or if she's actually dumb. Before you take poor Kogasa away, don't you still have a much greater mystery to solve? Greater mystery, you said? Right. After all, we still don't know where it disappeared to. The corpse. Kogasa ate it. Oh, that's true. Whoa. We just need to put some screws on Kogasa to find out. That would be pointless. Kogasa knows nothing about this. How can you be so sure of that? You remember when Iku's corpse disappeared to begin with? Found the corpse here, and just after we heard a huge ruckus when the stage collapsed. We all ran out to have a look, and we came back here, the corpse was gone. In other words, it was while we were all gathered near the stage. Kogasa was with us at that time, wasn't she? Now that she mentions it, I think she was. Yeah, okay, it's 100% Iku. Kogasa couldn't have been the one who moved the body. So then, who in the world could have done it? Whoop. And shouldn't forget about her either. You feel that someone is missing? We're short a person. Ah, Miko. She's not here. I'm thinking. Oh,
The chance for Iku having died is like up to 5%.
come to think of it, I completely forgot about her. We went to see the stage of the stage. What? Miko is no longer with us. Miko's no longer with us, guys. Miko's passed away. Shouldn't finding her be our first priority now? Alice? What is it? Can you just solve this case instead of me? Who, me? You must be kidding. I'm not protagonist material. Haven't you got everything figured out already? Hardly. I have no idea why the stage collapsed, for instance. Speaking of that, there's another mystery. I mean, like, the most obvious thing is that Iku died in order to set up some narrative about the egg god or some shit. And then they rigged the, I thought this game allowed scrolling. And then they rigged the stage or something. Iku, or if Iku had an accomplice or not, whether or not that she has an accomplice, the stage got rigged so that it would make them all leave the room so Iku could escape. I suppose I should. Solving them all will be up to you, after all. That's the buck stops here, I guess. Ah, excuse me. Have you got a minute? Huh? What's up, Notori? I have the lab results on these bloody footprints here. Oh yeah, there's that too. Well then, who made these footprints? According to our data, these are Miss Miko's. Okay, this is convenient. For real? Maybe Iku and Miko work together. Seems everything's finally come together. She must be the okay. What was going on with Kogasa then? Ah, yes, that. How'd that come about again? I don't want to hear it. Just forget about that. I'm gonna get some air. It'd be good to search around the whole area a little. Even then, I thought I'd search around, but where to begin? For the time being, we should see if we can find any witnesses and thoroughly hear out their story. Guess that's all there is to it in the end. By the way, Versa, I hope you haven't forgotten. But what? You only get your bail money if you can secure the egg separator. Read the room, why don't you? You really think you'd be caring about that kind of stuff now? However, a promise is a promise. There's been a murder! Obviously, the tourney's cancelled. None of that is any of my concern. That's such a lowlife. Fine, if I gotta. I guess I can also ask around for the egg thingy. Iku took it because she was talking about the egg god and the value of life with eggs. Why do my problems have got to keep piling up? LME won't do any good. Mysteries are just multiplying. Once I find that killer, I'm gonna knock her out in one blow. You mean Miko? Yeah, you got that right. Or could she truly be a murderer? Weren't you the first to say she was? Well, it is true, I may have gotten caught up in the moment back there. Still, such a lovely, charming woman. Wait, don't tell me. You got a thing for her? What? What are you talking about? I mean, that's how it looks to me. Good grief. If you're gonna talk nonsense, I'll gladly knock some sense back into you. Doesn't matter to me either way, you know. At any rate, what happened? Dude, Renosuke X Miko confirmed? At any rate, what happened with her magic trick was rather unfortunate. She ain't as slick as she acts, after all. Could anyone actually make such an embarrassing mistake during a stage performance? Maybe not. Although in your case... Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Yeah, I'm a bit curious. Does that have anything to do with the murder? Give me new ship unlock? Yes. Here's a bestseller. I don't know anyone who gets Ukyu hasn't heard of it. Because you don't know very many people then. Ha! Every household in the land has a copy of my book. Remember one time I had to go to the toilet in Rainbow Shrine. I saw it there, instead of paper. Yeah, I thought that would shut him up good. Would you thrust it in my... Oh, we're thrusting things in his face? Hold up, Marissa. What are you doing? Marissa kind of freaky. Oh, it's you two. What you doing here? As you can see, we're not doing anything. Stage is gone. So there's nothing for us to do. In short, they're bored. Not expecting much here, but should I still ask some questions? But this weekend, pat. Oh, now I can pop this up. I'll be straight with you. Saying a key is the only way in is nonsense. Really. You're making light of our strength. Asking about feats of strength. That's more like breaking and entering. What, you think that god egg's for real? Whatever it was, I definitely felt that stare too. Couldn't have just been your guilty conscience. It wasn't. Must show them everything I have! Whoa, so it's true after all. That criminal's gone done something pretty messed up. That's why we gotta find him as soon as possible. So, you had somebody in your sights? Well, I've got a hunch. That's so. So, Nanoka. Then even if we just keep sitting around here, everything's gonna be fine. I mean, you could still try to help. She's a good one. She makes great tea. Her cookies are also the best. Let's get with that stuff she gifts you. She could do something about my proportions. This would always make fun of me for being small. Ah, I know that feeling really well. Can't you just make yourself big? What the hell are you talking about? You're not as small as I am. No, even then, I want to be as tall as Yugi, at least. Wait, that's what you're talking about? By the way, Yugi, are you actually wearing bloomers under there? I won't ever tell. So stingy. Stingy. What's you talking about? Damn, important lore. Kepper are clever and good with their hands. They make fine minions. Back in the day, they came in handy a lot. Yeah, I remember the fully automated sake pouring machines. They're really convenient. Pour the stuff by hand. It's also probably never Kasen, because I don't know if Kasen was around by this game. Seems like she's gotten used to being a toady by now. Of course, thank you, guys. She's one of the few good ones. I worry for her a bit. Everybody feels the same way. I don't think she's a bad person, even if she's annoying sometimes. Yeah, she's decent enough, even if she's annoying sometimes. We can all agree she's annoying. You nerd at Tussle once, back when that Celestial ran rampant. Hard to believe she'd end up like this. It makes you realize you can't ever know what life's gonna hit you with. Life, huh? I can't believe that Iku is dead. The stage! Can you tell me how that stage broke in detail? I don't really have any details for you. Real sudden. Just sort of happened in a flash. You got no idea what did it. Nope, not in the least. It all went down a couple minutes after you bunch cleared off the stage. Yeah, it sure was something. Thought I was gonna get dragged down with into the river for a moment there. Dragged down the river? Something like that even happened. By the way, what happened to that egg separator thingy? I washed away with everything else that got left on the stage. By now it's probably somewhere downstream, I guess. Let's see. Supposed to be valuable, so we got told to keep an eye on it. Yeah, the whole thing is a setup for Iku to steal the egg separator. The whole stage collapsing, there's nothing you're doing. Oh, that's no surprise. Yeah, isn't that kind of thing besides the point now? Guess you're right. Just bothering me a bit, that's all. According to Ika, that thing was the focus of the curse. It's so important you can go fishing around the river. Guess so. We'll give it a shot. Nice, just 2 planks they just dropped there. Oi, Corin, check this out. That must be wreckage from the stage. Looks like it all gathered up here in the shallow part. Now, let's see if there's still anything to be found. Oh shit, aggressive music. One awful mess. The works of Man and Yoka are fleeting indeed. What's this thing? It's like an enormous Shinchi Odoshi? Those tubes that fill up with water and go bonk with the wealthy put in their gardens. I know what Shinchi Odoshi is, thank you. I don't know what it is. We never make one this big. If this isn't Shinchi Odoshi, then what is it then? Or like something for eating flowing noodles out up to me. Oh, look here. Oh, this junk is stuck to the shishi, not Shinchi. Shishi Odoshi. It's just a lump of metal? What the fuck is... Let me Google this. What the fuck is Shishi Odoshi? My sense for Japanese device was made to frighten away animals that pose a threat to agriculture. What is... Huh. Doesn't look like that, but this is peculiar. It has quite a bit of weight to it. What would anybody make a thing like that for? The to press scaring. Wait, how is this in the remains? Oh, this is what they someone probably used to destroy the stage. This was probably set up belowhand. Something else tied to that Shishi Odoshi. They're a fiber thread, very strong and thin enough to be nearly invisible. Ah, but our resident magician already knows all about this sort of thing. Telling you, that stuff about it being invisible is false advertising. Alice could see it just fine. That's because you were so blatant about it. Only poor craftsmen blame their tools. Anyway, get over here. That string's still tied to something else. This is... what exactly? We've got a wedge. That's what it looks like to me. Mystery deepens more and more. You just don't want to be... you just don't want to try thinking about it. Yeah. All part of a setup to take down the stage. Over here, Mirsa. Put those boxes Miko used in her magic trick. Think of it, they got left on the stage, so they washed up here too. I thought they've been completely crushed. Hold on. There's still something in this box. This is... it's a spear. The one we watched Miko put in the box, I'm sure. If it was still in the box, what's up with that? It was supposed to have disappeared. It's not bloody. This one want the egg cookie real bad. I don't know if all of them want it real bad. Kogatsu wanted it... actually, they kind of all did. Kogatsu wanted it to scare people. Yomu wanted it to make her life easier. I don't remember why any of the others wanted it. Iku was talking about the curse. Still, is that really what I should be thinking about now? But in the end, we still could not find the egg separator. If he got swept away even further downstream, it's probably lost for good. Well, you just have to find some other boondoggle to obsess over. Ah, it's fine. You can look for another way to pay your bail. Ugh. I take it out of me. You guys are no use. Also, it's not an egg cooker, it's an egg separator. Like there's never any stage here at all. Yes. It's enough to make you doubt your own eyes. So what the hell happened here? I don't have enough data to draw a conclusion yet. You got no clue, you could just say that. For all, we've still got no idea. Why all of a sudden, the stage? As expected, you lack imagination. I've already come up with a solution. Guess all I can do is try to find other witnesses in the end. Hey, don't ignore me. You really need somebody to hear you out. Bother someone else. Or better yet, talk to the waterfall over there. I'm telling you, I've got it, so be quiet and listen. Alright, the whole stage is actually a large boat. He's doing it. The dredge of the tourney, it was tethered to the riverbank, but when the commotion occurred, it was unmoored. As a result, the stage kept flowing downstream. It was a huge ruckus we heard in Niku's room. Yeah, so that's what's been weighing in my mind. It's a waste of time. Let's have a look around the water down below instead. I already didn't you doing there? Fishing for salmon? Do I look like a bear to you? Well, you do display many bear-like characteristics. Be stupid. I'm trying to see if there's evidence lurking at the bottom. You need to be to present salmon as evidence. Hit it with the salmon already. Hey, Marissa. What is that thing at the bottom? What thing? Did you spy a huge rainbow trout? I'm not kidding. Take a good look over there. What have we got here? Is that a jar? What would anybody need a big jar like that for? You could cram an entire family into it. No, that's the curse jar. Oh, if that isn't a jar, then what is it? Nah, I can tell it's a jar. Hold up. What is it? Just spy a huge black bass? Nah, something about that jar rings a bell. Does? It was with me back then. Let's show him. You mean this thing? What do you have to say about this? Do you think this jar looks similar? This jar looks a lot like the one down there. Now you mention it certainly does. Just what is this jar in the first place? Here's a curse jar. The sort you'd the sort you'd buy when haunted by evil spirits. Very sunny. That's absurd. Anyway, it sounds like one of those jars got stolen last night. Maybe that's what's lying at the bottom of the river here.
What? Anyone's sealed jar just to sink it down there.
Don't ask me. Oh. Uh-oh, Binky. Ah, it's you two. Have you found any sign of Miss Miko? Nah, no luck in that front. I see. Speaking of which, have you searched Miko's waiting room yet? Eh? No, not yet. There could be clues in there. Let's investigate right away. You just want to snoop around Miko's room. Then here, take this. The key to Miss Miko's room. Hold up. You're just gonna give it to him? I'm a bit busy with some other stuff right now, so I'll leave the key and the investigation to you. How convenient. I will gladly accept it. This guy, yo, Miko X Renosuke Cannon. Now let's be off, Marissa. Yo, he's getting off. I don't see anything.
What?
Miko! Please hang in. What? Where am I? We're gonna have to defend her in court, is my suspicion. We are inside your waiting room. I see. But Hey, what happened to you? What are you doing collapse here? Hey, you'll frighten her. Speak more gently. It doesn't scare as easy as you know. I'm not quite sure. What am I doing here? Whoa, over there. Get a grip already. Now we should gather everyone else. Yeah, you can get to it. I'll keep an eye on Miko. J. Miko Kek W. Good one. So you can't remember what happened, you say. I'm very sorry. My head is still throbbing terribly. Maybe she lost her memory from being hit in the head? Miko, I hate to say this, but I don't buy that story. Uh-oh. I see. Well, I suppose I can hardly blame you. She's acting so meek. Nothing like the usual Miko. Whoa there, Marissa! Don't you upset her too much! You've got to remember something, right? The reason we were all looking for Miko? Of course. Will you tell us what happened with you? Yes, I understand. If you ask, I can barely remember anything. Now, can you come up with something better, Miko? After you found Ika's dead body, there was a massive commotion outside, and you all left her waiting room. However, I thought it'd be unwise to leave the corpse unguarded. So I stopped myself and stayed in the room. I'm sorry, I truly cannot remember anything past that. How would you end up here? Well, I guess someone could have taken your key. Because you probably had the key on you at the time. How did Notori get her hand on the key? Or is that like the skeleton universal key? And that's really everything? Yes, that is correct. I don't remember anything past that point. Now watch yourself, Marissa. She's hurting both mind and body. So don't go and do anything too rough. Hey, get it already. Turns out her whole story's the truth, otherwise she's getting the business. Do you remember... So you do remember up to that point? Yes, we remember that part clearly. The crashing outside was terribly loud. Seems like it left a strong impression on me. I guess that'd be something you wouldn't forget easily. Wait, the real issue is what came after. Yes, I feel the same way. Why? Culprit could return to the scene and try to conceal evidence. There's a risk of that, wasn't there? Well, I guess that's true. You probably got knocked out by Iku or Iku's accomplice. Wait, turned out she might have been right to worry. You didn't think to call us back? Before I knew it, everyone had already left the room. That's so. Of course, my first impulse was to follow the group. However, I thought twice at the threshold. You're suspicious here. You really can't remember anything. That's right. My memories are void. I do not even remember being hit. We can't know for sure if you blacked out, because you were attacked. As you said, however, I do still have a throbbing pain in my head. Pretty likely she was knocked out by a blow to the head. Haven't you done enough, Marissa? There doesn't be anything anything for us to discuss here. I guess so. We're all gone to see what happened to the stage whose body disappeared. Back then, only Mika remained alone in the waiting room. No matter how you think about it, she's most suspicious here. Mika, let me confirm one last thing. What do you need? Did you move Iku's body? I couldn't have. My memory's cut out the moment I turned to step back into the waiting room. I have no recollection of going any further than that room's threshold. I could not have touched the corpse. Yeah, Iku got up and knocked from behind. You sure about that? Oh yeah, there's no mistaking it. Then go ahead and add that to your testimony. If you insist. You really don't remember. I have no recollection of anything else. That is all true. You couldn't have moved the corpse. I'm glad you agree. If it is true, that whole story. There's no meaning in continuing this interrogation. What you talking about? You're the first one to say she must be the culprit to begin with. That was only because I got taken for a ride for a moment. I don't feel like getting off this ride yet. At any rate, we'll know if she's involved in this or not once we've heard her through to the end. Maybe it didn't stick in your memory. Stuck in the evidence. The truth. It could have just been her leaving the fucking room, going to the entrance, being like, I should stay back and watch. Would you mind showing me this truth of yours? Whoa. I've got it right here. Marissa unzips pants. What is this? Bloody footprints? It turns out these are your footprints, Miko. What? This right here is something we found at the scene of the crime after Iku's corpse disappeared. And the Kappa's lab results say these are your footprints, Miko. In other words, it's proof you walked right up to the corpse. It can't be! And there'd be only roads to approach Iku's dead body, to tamper with it. It's all lies! It has to be! Because I truly cannot remember any of this. Give it a rest, Miko. You really think that excuse is gonna hold up forever? You're wrong. I really haven't done anything. She's gonna keep giving us the runaround. I'm innocent. I would never do anything so absurd. For that matter, I would have no reason to tamper with the corpse unless I were the murderer. She's got a point there. In the end, do you have any cause to be suspecting me at all? You said yourself the footprints appeared after the crime was discovered, so how did they prove any wrongdoing? Damn it. Can't let her get away with this. There's no evidence of anything like that, is there? It's gonna be the trick. The magic trick. So swallow your pride and admit her innocence. No, she's gotta be the one who hit Iku's body. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that, but there's really nothing before the incident. No, even during the incident, it would be fine. You're really not doing anything suspicious at all. So you will recant yourself, then? Not so fast. When the incident occurred, you were acting unnatural. What on earth are you talking about? Eat it! When the incident took place, you were doing a magic trick on stage. Something blatantly unnatural happened back then, didn't it? Ah! That's right, you messed up your performance. No matter how you think about it, that's not normal. What now? Is making a mockery of me that enjoyable to you? I like that face. It is true that my magic trick was a failure, but that has no relation to the murder. Sure, we don't know if that has anything to do with the incident yet, but you can still testify to why you messed up. Why should I have to testify to such a thing? What will that accomplish aside from humiliating me? You told me to show a connection between you and the murderer. That means we've got a duty to give proof now. So, if that's your answer in this situation, if you refuse to cooperate, Then that's the same as admitting there's a connection, right? Very well, I understand. It'll prove a waste of time, anyway. It's true that my magic trick did not go according to plan. It was only due to my faulty preparations. Simply put, I was careless. In any case, this has nothing to do with the incident whatsoever. Ooh, eyes. Well, it was just like one line anyway. One thing I want to know is, what's supposed to happen when your magic trick works out? You really need to ask? You fall into it. It was like one line of Marissa's that didn't matter. What did I just see? I need to ask. I think it goes without saying. Yes, there's a spear that vanished from the one box was going to show up in the other. Yes, exactly right, but that spear did not actually show up. In other words, the spear put in the box got lost. Well, that seems to have been the case. Miko, add that stuff to your testimony. If I must. Box disappear. What's in the box? Spear's gone missing. I was actually quite fond of it. The regrettable loss. I just figure it out, don't we? Where that spear went. That ain't right. Miko, speaking of your spear, I've got it right here. Eh? How do you have this? I found this thing in one of the boxes you used in your magic trick. I have to tell you what that actually means, do I? My goodness, you have it all figured out, don't you? That spear was still in the box. In other words, the spear you put in the box on stage didn't disappear. We just couldn't see it. This late hour, you still insist on ruining the magic. Anyway, Miko, it wasn't a disappearing act you were planning, it was teleportation. The spear you put in the box on the right didn't go anywhere. So, just what was up with that spear, just what was up with the spear, we were supposed to find the box to the left. If you understand that much, shouldn't you be able to guess the answer to that question already? I mean, it's just like fake like cupboards, right? Like fake. Like you show yourself putting it in, and then you open like the front pocket. It's like, oh look, it's gone. But like there's actually like you put it in like the back part, you know, that type of thing. And then you open up another. It's like, oh, it's in here. Crazy, right? Obviously, what was really gonna shove that box on the left was. It was another spear. Another! Yeah, the truth was, Miko prepared 2 spears. You had 2 boxes brought to the stage. Now, both the boxes had 3 lids each. Lid in the front and the back sides, and a third on top. This is all correct, but the spear really did disappear. How could that have happened? There were 3 lids. And keep that in mind, it's easy to explain. The long and short of it is, those boxes Miko prepared were really built like this, yep. A partition? Renosuke, you are challenged. Back then, Miko opened the lid on the box but to put the spear in. Fell asleep? I mean, it's only been like 40 minutes of, who killed Iku? I mean, it was probably Iku, but ooh, it could be anyone. I really hope it's not. I really hope Iku is dead. Not because I want her to be dead, but because I would have massive respect for the dev. Show up the front lid to show us the inside. It'd certainly explain how the spear disappeared. However, what the teleportation part? One thing that sticks out in my mind. Very first thing Miko did was show us the left box was empty, and then as she walked away, she quietly gave it a half spin. Spin. Ah! You got it. Simply put, you put spear in the back of the box before coming on stage. That setup, the spear would be invisible in the beginning. But if you gave the box a half spin, the spear would now face the audience. If you open the lid after that, it would be like a spear magically appeared. Now see, you surely had everything figured out after all, Marissa. But what about it? They revealed my trick, and nothing has changed. I wonder about that. There are 2 spears. One you put in the box on the right, another you hidden in the left box. But does that second spear nowhere to be found? What's that all about? Certainly, that is the question now. The spear vanished. That means somebody took it away. To top it off, they do that because they needed it for something. Needed it? Why on earth would someone need my spear? That missing spear, here's the reason it disappeared.
It was edible! It was an edible spear!
So that spear disappeared without trace because it was eaten? That's gotta be it. Excuse me, for what reason would I prepare such a spear? It'd be, just in case you need a little snack. I truly didn't want to say this, but are you stupid? Excuse me. I would just reconsider. This is the weapon that is used to murder Iku.
What?
Never killed Iku, ran her all the way through. When you hear that, isn't that missing spear the first thing that comes to mind? That's absurd! The second spear was used as a murder weapon, and therefore it couldn't be brought up on stage. Is that so hard to believe? It can't be true! Right now we gotta search for that spear. If we can find it, everything will become clear. No! Checkmate, Miko. It's Iku. It's all Iku. She stole the spear from Miko so that she could use it to help destroy the stage, maybe. Oh, okay. Aya! I found it! It was pushed behind that shelf over there! Whoa! It's that! It's covered in blood! Oh, okay. Blood on the Yomu's sword? Good question. To make it to make people believe it was Yomu who did it? It's like I thought. Covered in blood. Notori, can we get a DNA test on this blood to make sure Iku is actually dead? I'm up to like 6% on Iku actually being dead. I dropped down to like 4%, and I bet but like this spear has made me go up to like 6%. This spear's blade's a little bit different from the other one. The first one was more like a sword, but this one has a pyramid tip. Oh, that. It couldn't be helped. In truth, I want to use 2 perfectly identical spears, but finding them turned out to be not so easy. She's not dead! In the end, I had to make do with the next best thing. In practice, I hope to keep the audience from getting a good look at the spear tips. They're so different, you can tell whether they're not the same at a glance. Anyway, it seems we've caught our killer now. Yeah. Wait, I don't know anything! My memory! There's no way we ever believe such a convenient excuse. It's not! Miko could be telling the truth. Everything's because of the curse! Okay, I'm back down to a 1% chance of Iku actually being dead. Because Iku knocked her out from behind and then faked the sword to put it in her room. It's all just passing the blame. Why would you prep two fake bloody weapons? It doesn't make sense. And why would you leave the fucking sword in your own room and then pretend to be knocked out in the room with a fake bloody sword? I'm sorry, spear. It must be that the god egg took over her body, and that's why she can't remember what she did. It'd be stupid. She's obviously just lying. Why won't any of you believe me? Miko. Inosuke, do you suspect me as well? Mimi? I haven't done anything. Please, you must believe me. Of course I believe in you. Get real, Corin. You're just in denial. I am not in denial by any means. Did you have evidence she isn't the killer in your possession? That is... Inosuke. That's it. Of course, that's it. Well, let's... Yeah, we're just playing the loop-de-loop game until we get to Iku. Well, let's see it. You're proof that Iko is innocent. Have you all lost sight of something terribly important? Terribly important, is it? The time of the murder was witnessed by Kogasa. Miko was performing on the stage in full view of all of us. Even if there was a god and it can control the actions of others, there's only one, Toyosata Mimi no Miko. Simply put, it's categorically impossible for her to have murdered Iku. Gah! Ryunosuke! All I did was state the obvious conclusion logic led me to, Miko. But then, who even was the killer in the end? I guess that means it was Kogasa after all? Wait, why? I've already explained why. How'd you get into Iku's writing room? Why didn't you see the killer? There's still no explaining that unless the killer was you. That's not right. Looks like the murder weapon was Miko's spear? Yeah, that's true, and only Miko could have moved the corpse too. In other words, we gotta consider that the two of them could have been accomplices. Two of them accomplices. That'd make everything come together. They both are... You fight both of them at Touhou 13. Because Kogasa's a mid-boss on stage 3, and Miko's the main boss on stage 6. He used to say I would have no reason to cooperate with Kogasa. Me too. There's no reason I'd have to help Miko. It's true. It does not seem likely those two work together to commit a murder. In that case, maybe Kogasa did it all on her own. Why me? There's no getting around Miko's alibi, unless you really were her accomplice. No way. Does she seriously believe this could have been done without Miko getting her hands dirty? Whoa! Just now the truth revealed itself to me! Well then, how about you let me hear that truth of yours? It'd be my pleasure. Whoa, Aya pleasuring herself. Such genius. I'm almost scaring myself. I trust that bird's genius about as far as I trust Korin's. Asa was undoubtedly the one trying to murder Iku. Then she tried to arrange everything so Miko would take the fall. So Kogasa stole Miko's spear ahead of time and coaxed Iku into letting her into a waiting room. And then right when the time came, she ran Iku right through with that spear. Afterwards, Kogasa ran away screaming and passed herself off as the one who discovered the crime. What? Makes a lot more sense than I expected. What do you think of my flawless reasoning? Guess pigs do fly, now. What's that supposed to mean? I don't think Kogasa could pull up this crime alone. There's gotta be a chink somewhere. I can't believe Kogasa's a cold-hearted murderer. It's so true. Explain yourself. I am at a 0% belief that Iku is actually dead. Unfortunately. How can you be so sure? The conclusion you came to yourself, wasn't it? I guess that's true. Then stands to reason that Kogasa was also behind everything else. Is that really possible? Kogasa was gonna frame Miko. Yes, that's right. This is why she chose her spear as the murder weapon. Why'd Kogasa go after Miko? Well, she must have had some personal reason of her own. Just sounds like empty words to me. And when did all that happen? It means it happened during Miko's performance, so she would have had to do it before then. Sure, that makes sense, but there's one part I've got a problem with. What's the matter? Kogasa was good for Miko. Isn't it weird the murder was committed while Miko was on stage? But that ended up giving Miko an alibi, right? Looks like Kogasa didn't think this through very well, which is why she was found out so easily. Hey now. Anyway, something like that could happen, theoretically. Oh, that stuff Kogasa said about hearing Iku's scream was all a lie? If she was the murderer, then that's how it'd have to be. Well, I feel the same way. It sounds terrifying, being suddenly killed by someone standing right in front of you. It'd be a lot scary to be attacked from behind out of nowhere. So you wouldn't be scared if I attacked you right now? Just don't attack me at all! So the one who found the body was really the killer. Well, that's a pretty common pattern. It is, isn't it? Though it's not necessarily always true. But don't you think there's a very high possibility it was? No. Possibility? I wonder about that. How is it? Have you come up with anything? Really can't say for sure. If there are no contradictions, wouldn't that make this the truth? If I want to deny this, I'll have to find a contradiction. Maybe this. Was definitely not. Nope. It's something. Keep throwing things, we'll hit it eventually, surely. Sure, it's one way of looking at it, but it's totally wrong. What makes you think you'd say that? But the culprit's Patsy. It's obvious that the true culprit never meant for Miko to be the one taking the fall. And how would you know? It's because of this thing. Ah, this is the sword Yomu used to make her use for a magic trick. It got left behind at the scene, covered in blood. That means the killer planned to pin the crime on Yomu, not Miko. But maybe the sword was left there by someone else. To begin with, almost immediately after Iku's body disappeared, Kogasame has listened to her deductions. Back then, she reasoned that the killer must have been Yomu. Would that be weird if she wanted to pin the crime on Miko? Ugh! There's one more fatal flaw with your case. You mean there's still more? That bloody spear. Where did we end up finding it? It goes right here, in Miko's waiting room. Ah! And as we all know, the doors here to these rooms lock themselves, and Miko should have been the one with the key. How did Kogasame get in Miko's room to plant the spear there? That'd be... Now, if you've got no rebuttal... Mata! No, that gives me an idea. For real? Is she really that quick on the draw? He just wanted to reuse that voice line. She also wanted to set up Yomu to take the fall, but she also tried to cast suspicion on Miko as insurance. So when she went to Iku's room, she brought both the spear and the sword. After picking the right time to strike, she killed Iku with the spear, then covered the sword in blood and left it at the scene. That Kogatsu went back to her own room and hid the spear there. Then she came to scream and pretended to have been the one who discovered the murder. Later on, when the stage collapsed, we ran off to see what happened. Kogatsu sneaked back here unnoticed and knocked Miko unconscious. She stole Miko's key, moved the spirit on Miko's body to this room, and returned the key to Miko's pocket. After that, Kogatsu took away Iku's corpse to make it look like everything was because of the hot dog curse. She pulled it back together. This is my ability as a detective. Yeah, she got me thinking she was just an idiot again. How'd she do it? Well, I'll boot it. Will you back down? As if I'd ever do that. There's just no way Miko would, didn't have a hand in this whole mess. Just gotta be a contradiction. It was Iku. Why go through all that trouble? You see, if the suspicion against Yomu is cleared up, Kogatsu would need some way to avoid being suspected herself. The more suspects there are, the better it is for the real killer. Not wrong. Could Kogatsu really have gotten her hands on both of those? We can confirm with their owners, right? Right now. Right, after I was done with that sword, I just tossed it in my box, so anyone could have picked it up. How about you, Miko? Well, you see, having to unlock my waiting room got to be a nuisance, so I ended up propping it open sometimes. There have been a few opportunities to steal the spear. It was possible, after all. Switch towards security, huh? Why are you blaming the Tory for it? They're the ones who are like, just leave it out. Here's definitely the murder weapon. You're the one who said the sword couldn't have been it to begin with. Well, that's true, but... Anyway, there's no reason to be dubious this time. Seems like it. That's one opinion. Why'd you do that? Because she'd be suspicious as hell if she ran around with a bloody spear. Guess they need a place to hide the murder weapon in the meantime. It was reasonable to think that she left it in her own waiting room. Rouge could have gone down like that. Kurgosh used the tip of her brow to impale Iku. Can't believe it. That happened in the middle of Miko's magic trick. Correct. But it's hard to believe Kogasa thought she could frame Miko, ain't it? Did she be giving Miko an alibi? Still, Kogasa's preferred target was Yomu. Might have used Miko's spear because she had no other option. Or she could, further confuse the investigation. Yeah, it really doesn't make more sense that Yomu was her first pick for Patsy. Why'd she attack Miko instead of Yomu? Never had a chance to attack Yomu. Rather, she didn't originally intend to attack anyone, but it turned out Miko stayed behind by chance. Kogasa couldn't move the body with her standing watch. That's why she had to knock Miko unconscious. In that case, everything would fall into place. Miko's key got stolen. That'd be one way to get past the auto lock. I guess so. He could have been knocked unconscious. Taking her key would be easy. Besides, you found her collapsed in this waiting room, right? Isn't that reasonable to assume that was because Kogasa locked both Miko and the spear in there? Thanks to those auto locks, the culprit could leave the key behind and just close the door behind them. That bird's weirdly sharp. Not hot dog, it's god egg. The same thing. It's really not. At any rate, this is the whole picture of the Institute. Making it look like the curse of the god egg was real. Kogasa made the corpse disappear? Would she take such a huge risk moving a body just for that? Without further questioning will not yield any new facts. Something like Ida's explanation leaves way too much to chance. You go ahead and stay behind. What would Kogasa have done with the murder weapon? To begin with, he was the one who started the god egg story. There were a bunch of coincidences that Kogasa worked with. Isn't it fine for some things to happen by coincidence? I just don't like any of it. What am I arguing with what? Because you know what the person who talked about the stalking last was? It was Iku. What am I arguing here? Oh. Throwing darts at a board. My favorite pastime. How could Kogasa have been the one to not go Miko? Because she was like... She was at the door of the room. She would have seen Kogasa if she was outside. Did I throw this here? I think I probably already did. I wonder if it is the footprints or not. Because, like, why would Miko's footprints be there if it was Kogasa? Oh. Staring to the first game again. What? I don't know. I don't know what I'm after. Time to keep throwing darts. That's the wrong one. But the other one's not even going to be the case. Did I throw the bloody footprints on this? Did I? Isn't that what I just did? Part of that last one? I don't remember. Just keep throwing. Yeah. What am I after here?
I threw it on, like, almost everything except that one. You kidding me?
So Kogasa was the one who moved Iku's body. I don't think that's possible. Why do you say that? Because then we wouldn't have found these at the scene. Ah. Miko left behind bloody footprints at the scene. If Kogasa had moved the body, she should have left footprints too. To avoid the pool of blood, she would just leave footprints. To begin with, you've been saying Miko had been knocked up by Kogasa, so she could take her key. If Miko was out cold, then she would never stepped in that blood pool at all. Qua! In other words, Miko must have walked right up to the body at least once. There'd be only one reason for Miko to do something like that. To take it away. So she could make the murder look like it was part of the God Egg curse and hide Kogasa's crime. And in the end, that means the two of them were accomplices. No way! This concludes my report, Chief. It was Iku. Like, it's not. This isn't a double. Gotta have Iku. Bad apple? What? Yeah, this is a kind of a banger bad apple. Yasa, Miko, the both of you conspired to kill Iku. And then you hid her dead body away. So you could make it look like the God Egg's curse. Wait a minute! Why would we want to kill Iku in the first place? That's right. There's no reason we'd do such a thing. There's no reason. Because the curse! If the curse was real, they wouldn't have to go fake a curse, would they? That's right, but... BG, we're gonna need 2 arrest warrants on the double. Was this Yomo's party look so incredibly breedable? I don't know if I'd go that far. Roger! Oh, is the party already over? That's a shame. Alice! Are you gonna say we ain't done yet? There's still so much we do not understand, you fucking piece.
Yes, it's Iku. Let's just get it over with. Oh, dude, I so badly want someone to have murdered Iku because I would give so much respect to the dev then.
Because the stage's collapse is still a mystery. Well, the stage's got nothing to do with the murder. You can't seriously believe that. Didn't it collapse immediately after the corpse was discovered? The stage didn't break at that moment. How could Iku's body have been removed from the scene? Certainly. When we heard the commotion, we all rushed outside. And on that topic, where is Iku's body now? Just gotta ask those two. I'm not done yet. Why did Kogasa and Miko not dispose of the true murder weapon? Threw that spear in the waterfall basin just outside, it would sink to the bottom and never be found. Why leave it in a waiting room? That's... Well, can you truly say you solved the case yet? Maybe Alice is the murderer. Who do you think you are? You keep interfering with police business. How would I just arrest you too? I apologize. I have no intention of obstructing justice. In fact, you have my full cooperation. Alice, what the hell are you thinking? Alice, what you got in mind? It's nothing outstanding, but I thought we could still bring some unseen truths to light. Unseen truths? Notori, is everything ready? Yeah, we're all good to go. Ready for what? Oh, I thought maybe we could check for fingerprints. Fingerprints? What's that? You call them marks on your fingers. Yokai and humans all have unique patterns on their fingers, you see. Alice used your puppets to murder Iku? So true. In other words, by looking at these real closely, we can find out who touched what. That's handy. Handy for sure. But if there's any evidence you've been having second thoughts about, let me check the fingerprints. It's a great opportunity. Do you have anything for them to examine? Got that right. Now we should start with the murder weapon? You check the spear for fingerprints. Gotcha. Just give me a moment. Look like Miss Miko's fingerprints. How about anyone else's? Nope, nothing unexpected here. That's so... I mean, it makes sense because the one who put in her own box. Do you have anything else for me? Let me think. I know. We can inspect the other weapon. Oh yeah, if it was part of a cover-up, the culprit's fingerprints could be on there. Hattori, could you do this sword too? No problem. Give me a second. It's gonna be Yomu's. Yep, these are Yomu's fingerprints. Did you find anyone else's? There's one thing that stands out. These look like Miss Iku's prints. Yeah, okay, here we go. What did you just say? This looks like Miss Iku's. Why would it be Iku's? That means all of her deduction up till now. And there it is. Yep. What do you think, Marissa? Just one thing after another. Feels like I've gotten through a bunch of trouble for nothing. You're covered in blood if only she has touched it herself. I mean, 11. Think about it. Sometimes you just, you know, it's that time of the month. So, yeah, I'm just saying things happen. My. I'm sorry. Ada. Alice, can you give me a hand here? All of my own. I just can't sort my thoughts. It's so obvious, Marissa. I see. That's fine. Because using that case. Hey, I mean, they don't have modern technology, right? Like, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Should I play devil's advocate for you? Sure, go ahead. Well, then let's begin our review. Kogasa with the culprits, and they plan to pin the crime on Yomu. For that reason, Kogasa took Yomu's sword and headed to Iku's waiting room. But since he actually can stab someone with that sword, something else had to be used as the real murder weapon. So, just after coaxing Iku to open her waiting room door, Kogasa killed her with Miko's spear. Sure, Miko wouldn't be suspected the murder was committed while she was on stage. Kogasa hid the murder weapon, the spear, in Miko's waiting room, using a key she'd been given ahead of time. After that, Kogasa pretended to have discovered the murder, and led everyone to Iku's room. Shortly afterwards, the stage collapsed, drawing everyone's attention. Miko took the opportunity to move Iku's body in order to pass the murder off as part of the God Egg's curse. And then Miko pretended to have lost her memory, so we would believe she'd been taken over by the God Egg. Like, it was starting to make sense. Things are different now. Some fatal flaws of this explanation. Some? Now, let's proceed. The path to the truth begins here. Kogasa was the one who used Miko's spear. That's weird. Why do you say that? Problem's the murder weapon, the spear. There was only Miko's fingerprints on there. That means it wasn't Kogasa who killed Iku with it. That appears to be the case. But that isn't necessarily true. Why not? Because Miko was Kogasa's accomplice. If she knew about fingerprints, she might have wiped them from the spear. Then Miko wouldn't leave her own fingerprints on there. It would be strange if her own property had none of her fingerprints on it, don't you think? And so after wiping the spear, Miko deliberately applied her fingerprints to it again. True, that ain't impossible. So we've turned part of the theory on its head now. We're still making progress. And with that, she'll resume our reasoning. Can I also use it for this? Because wouldn't it have her fingerprints then again? they're arguing for. I, for one, do not feel there's anything left for us to discuss. You really think so? There's no contradictions remaining, were there? Sure, just still a little bit ago. If they wipe the fingerprints, why wouldn't they wipe the other one? This idea Kogasa was the one who took the sword. It's just not going to hold up anymore. Why do you say that? Because they weren't on that sword, Kogasa's fingerprints. Oh, that's certainly true. In other words, Kogasa can't be the one who planted the sword. Isn't it possible she wore gloves? You'd still be able to tell something like that, right? That's correct. No, this doesn't topple the case. Why not? Because there are Iku's fingerprints on the sword. It was not prepared as a red herring by the murderer, but taken by Iku for her own purposes. There's one way to interpret it. True, the explanation holding up so far, Alice. We've had to make allowances for it 2 times now. That's a big deal. Maybe it'd be better if we rethought everything from the beginning? Right. At times it's necessary to get a fresh start. So, where should we go from that? I feel a good starting point would be the murder weapon. The murder weapon? Miko's fingerprints were the only one that's on the spear, but at the time the murder was committed, Miko was on the stage. Feels like he explained a bit ago. Then Miko would need to have expected a fingerprint test ahead of time. And why use a weapon that would incriminate her in the first place? That's... Ultimately, the fingerprints on the spear can't be those of the murderer. What kind of conclusion should we draw from that? If it's impossible fingerprints, what's that mean? Spear is not the murder weapon either. What the hell? I feel the same way. Whoa, 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 but then where'd the real murder weapon go? Whatever the case, the spear seems like it couldn't be it. That's what these fingerprints suggest. But if the murder weapon really was before Kogasa said she heard the scream, that'd be a way Miko could be the killer, right? It was Aaron shooting an arrow, so true. I suppose. But if the murder was so elaborately planned, why use a weapon as conspicuous as the spear to begin with? They could have prepared a much more advantageous murder weapon. Say whatever you want, but we never found anything like that. Settle down, Marissa. Don't get lost in the weeds. You're still being led astray by the mastermind's misdirection. But you already have clues that'll lead you to them. I mean... I don't know who it could be, Marissa. I have no idea who could possibly be the culprit right now. It could be anyone. Does that lead me to him? Everything about this incident was one big magic trick. We are its audience. Our culprit is the magician.
A magician! It's Gyakuten! No way! And she wanted to frame Miko because they're enemy. Oh my gosh, it's all beginning to make sense.
You mastermind behind this incident and wanted it all to be passed off as the curse of the God Egg. At this point, shouldn't that ring some alarm bells? See, should have just gone with my gut from the very beginning. Fuck, that was... that was a misclick. Hold up, I gotta do this. They're the one! You being serious right now? Come on. She hired New Way to do it. Oh, so true! How much blood did they drain from poor Iku? I know. I questioned the God Egg. They're the one. Hey, wait a moment. That makes no sense, no matter how you look at it. Why do you say that? Because she's the victim. You mean to say this was suicide? Not a chance. Suicides don't walk off from their death place on their own, or remove their murder weapon from the scene. In fact, we couldn't find the murder weapon anywhere. In other words, there was never any murder weapon at all. Then how in the world was Iku killed? Here's the kicker. Iku was never killed. What? There's no murder weapon. And there was no murder weapon to begin with. There's no murder to begin with. We all saw her body, and all this blood at the scene. We don't know if that stuff was really Iku's blood. It's been a while since we saw a bloody, gory incident against Tokyo. We were all shocked we never considered it could be a fake. Inconceivable. My wife when she's barren. The Gobium drip. Yeah, true. You finally start standing at the same starting line as me, Marissa. Alice. If you knew, they should just said it. This is as far as I went. I wanted us to figure out the rest together. But I needed to see if you could get on my level. I mean, what do you mean? This is as far as you went. The moment you get this, everything else makes sense. Don't treat me like a kid. At the opening ceremony, Iku dropped the name of the god egg and bewildered the whole venue. Oh, we got this mix again. At the very beginning, she planned for all our crimes to ultimately be blamed on this god egg. As if that ever worked. Now we know who the mastermind is, but the question then becomes, where's she gone? Where'd Iku disappear to, huh? I consider Iku was covered in blood from playing dead. She would stand out terribly if she walked around like that. She just went in the river. Oh, river! And someone's supposed to be dead can't run around willy-nilly. She need a place not too far to lie low, or change clothes without being seen. What's the matter, Marissa? No, bloody clothes or no, there'd be too much risk of being noticed if you could just try to walk away from here. He's a fish. I mean, she could also just, like, fly up, right? Like, to be fair. She'd rather hide somewhere and wait for a chance to escape. Don't you think that makes sense? This hiding place is good. This venue go. There's only one. Eh? Where could she have been hiding? Right there. When did you pick this spot? Blind faith. What? I'm back to having one life. Yomu's box, so true. Right there is the box Yomu used in her magic trick. I mean, Iku? Yeah, Iku tucked herself away in this box to make her escape. You can't escape by shutting yourself in a box, can you? Sure. That's only true if you don't have an accomplice on the outside. What? Oh? You gotta get a move on, Alice. The real mastermind could be escaping as we speak. I want to walk outside. I really want to walk outside and see Tenchi holding a giant box just running. We gotta hurry check out that box. Hold on a second. What I'm hearing, that's just a shot in the dark. You have any proof Iku would try to use that box? Why are you denying this, Aya? Aya, this is kind of weird. Aya, this is kind of weird that you're denying this right now. Right. It all revolves around that box's owner. The box where Iku's playing. Wait, what? So if she apart from Tenchi, is it gonna be... So what? What? Iku's in the box. Wait, is it Yomu? Do I actually have to click Yomu herself? If Iku planned to use the box. What this is, it was planning for Yomu to be arrested. That's why she planted that sword at the sea and... What does that have to do with this? That box we're talking about is Yomu's box. What would happen if you arrested Yomu, took her away? When you came back, it turned out her box was gone. That'd make a commotion for sure. The point is, that explains how Iku's corpse had vanished. I see. The box belonging to the culprit, to Yomu, disappeared, and we assumed she used it to dispose of the body. And there'd be no risk of Iku's accomplice falling under suspicion. All today's crimes would be on Yomu's hands. It can't be! Now let's move! Iku could be gone already. I really just want to see Tenchi holding a giant box, running. Whoops. Oh, they're right there. It's fucking, of course. I mean, it was like never gonna be anyone else, right? Well, they're right there, Tenchi. What? We're all gonna be having a look inside this box right now. If you've got nothing to hide, then that's no big deal, right? Now get out of here, Iku. Everything you've been getting up to, we've seen through it all. Dear me, what meddlesome visitors. Iku. No, Iku Nagai is dead.
It's Nue? It's Nue. It's been her all this time.
What earth are you? I am that which came first before chicken and egg, the god egg. And here I am in all of my splendor. You changed your name to... On this day, I have claimed this maiden's mortal flesh, that I may manifest it to this world. This is pathetic in at least 2 ways. Oi, Miss God Egg, are you really the mastermind behind this incident? Indeed, all these disasters were wrought by my curse. Heed my words, mortals. Should you persist in disrespecting eggs, you shall be beset by further calamity. See? See, she knows, okay? Don't disrespect my egg conversations when I'm talking about them during Touhou. That's gonna be a real problem. I love me some egg dishes. Damnation awaits you! You're just not gonna come quietly. Alright, ooh. Let's settle this once and for all. I'm putting an end to this sideshow. You would call my divine punishment a sideshow? Oh my... Foolish, insolent human who fears not God, you shall face divine punishment. If you show me this whole mess was really some divine reckoning, I'll get down on my hands and knees and pray. Very well. Now then, let's begin. Time to expose today's found magic trick. It's gonna be the toppling of the thing. All that transpired today was due to my divine punishment. First of all, I took over the body of Kogasa Tatar and impaled the Iku Nagai on the spear of Toyosato Mimi no Miko. I then concealed the spear in this box and went to the stage pretending to have discovered the murder. Afterwards, I abandoned the body of Kogasa and possessed Toyosato Mimi no Miko to make her carry the corpse here. At that time, I had her take the spear from the box and bring it to her waiting room where she was rendered unconscious. Exactly what we came up with back there. Perhaps she has received reports from her accomplice. That is to say, she must have been keeping tabs on us from afar this whole time. The problem with that story. Hole in this reason we opened ourselves hasn't been patched up yet. Let's rush there. Let's rush through there straight away. Fuck, I have 1 life again. Oh my gosh. You got the power to control people's bodies, don't you? That is correct. You don't have the power to transform people's bodies, right? There's the meaning of this prattle. But that spear of Miko's we've been arguing about, there's only Miko's fingerprints on there. In other words, Kogasa's hands never touched that spear. What? That means he didn't bring down any divine punishment that way. Does your insolence know no bounds? That's still the truth. Even a god can't ignore the truth, right? You get possessed by the god every time the egg conversation is gonna come up, yeah. Indeed, we gods can never deny truth, for we are truth itself. This makes my divine punishment truth as well. There's no actual contradiction. Or there is actually. I really wiped off those fingerprints. How'd you know we checked for fingerprints? I am a god. All of your petty contrivances are already known to me. Fine, let's say you're 100 steps ahead of us mere mortals that could predict we'd do a fingerprint test. Even then, your claim wouldn't make any sense. Why is that? Because you're evil god out to get revenge on all of us, right? Wait, those fingerprints wouldn't do anything for you. You'll only be helping Kogasa, right? What? Yeah, no reason to break Kogasa, that would make any sense to wipe down the spear. But all the fingerprints left on there wouldn't be yours. There's never any of Kogasa's fingerprints on that spear. Gah! How about it, your worship? Are you gonna keep playing God? Seems the hubris of your kind has only grown during my long absence, lowly human. Making a mockery of my divine punishment. The absurdity. This guy doesn't know when to quit. Prepare yourself, child. Certainly the spear being the murder weapon was but a falsehood. In truth, it was a long, slender tree branch picked up by the riverbank that took my vessel's life. After the murder of Iku Nagai, the weapon was cast into the waterfall by the hands of Kogasa and Tara. By now, it must have been drifted far downriver. There was some tree branch? Indeed. Have you some issue with this? Then why'd you lie to us a moment ago? My acts are the acts of the divine. Putting morals to the test is my prerogative as a god. She's just making up nonsense. Certainly, the spear being the murder weapon was but a falsehood. Then why'd you lie? Oh, yeah. Your Dai, so true. How'd you even find something like that? It was near the expo venue. Handy branches fallen there. You're gonna use that as the murder weapon for the beginning? Indeed! What would I take such a thing for besides this? How does he really find something like that? Why bother getting rid of the murder weapon? Did you feel bad for Kogasa? Not in the least! It was so you'd believe Yomu's Kanpaku's sword was the true murder weapon. What would be the point of that? You must already understand. The reason Yomu Kanpaku was to be my scapegoat. For smuggling out the body, right? God shouldn't care about that kind of stuff, right? You were sorely mistaken. My godly strength has greatly waned due to the impiety of you mortals. In order to bring you true divine punishment, I'll have to regain my mighty power of yore. And so, I must be offered a sacrifice. For that, I deem the body of Iku Nagai a suitable sacrifice and decide to bring her back with me. That sounds more like a demon lord than a god there. Methinks you gotta worship that character of yours a bit more. So you're saying everything that went down today was part of your master plan? That is correct. Well then, add that to your testimony. So be it. What happened today was your will. Indeed. Is there a problem? The stage collapsing, that was your handiwork too? Naturally. That altar of sin was brought low by my power, be my divine punishment. Your backstory only have you... Didn't your backstory say you only had the power to control people? You just collapsed after this conversation. Ooh, I think I just got possessed. You're suggesting that too was but a trick. This could be bad if we're really facing godly forces here. There's no way. There's gotta be a rational explanation for it. No matter the era, you humans remain but pitiable, self-deluded beings. Unraveling my machinations is a fool's errand, mortal. I am merely superior to it, mentally superior to it. Well, let's try to stay calm and figure this out. Rough sketch of the stage without bells and whistles. I see. Just pull down from below. It's gotta be it. Can't you have just caused the stage to collapse with an earthquake? Well, who knows if an earthquake would necessarily take it down, right? But then, that would take someone to pull it down. Nah, someone ain't the right word. Who's something. But if using human you are, I shall honor your question then. Who's this thing? Or did that be it? I don't think it could have been. Nope. I love having one life. Great, I'm gonna have to do the whole thing with one life. Gonna be this. It's gonna be the frickin' curse jar? They're calling this a curse jar because it's supposed to have power to spell curses. You know, if anything, that'd make most think it is curse itself. What's gonna break your so-called curse? That's impossible! Collapse of stage wasn't a curse or divine punishment. It was this jar that pulled the whole thing down. Nonsense are you speaking? No one could have hung this enormous jar with so many onlookers in the vicinity. Obviously, this jar was set up long before that. It was hung up onto the stage last night. Why last night? The jar was stolen last night. Oh, must be the culprit took it and immediately set up under the stage. However, would the stage not have collapsed last night then? The jar's weight was enough to break the stage down by itself. In other words, at the time the stage broke, immediately before that, something was put under this jar. Understand, under the strain of the increased weight, the stage collapsed. This is absurd. One way or the other, this should still not have been done unnoticed into the full view by so many souls. Wonder about that. To begin with, what would be put in the jar to increase its weight? It was already in this picture. Interesting. Be the waterfall in Nine Heavens? Waterfalls form place where water falls, hence the name. I need to tell you how heavy a jug filled with water can get. I see. By pouring water from the waterfall into the jar, you can increase its weight. That's right. That was the trick to the stage's collapse. However, by what method could anyone have poured this water? If you cannot explain that, then this is all meaningless. I've already got an answer for you. What? This is what you use to pour water from the waterfall into that jar. Oh. Must be this thing I was set up between the jar and the waterfall. I see. Such a tube could be used to pour water into the jar. However, who can say if such a device was ever used? This thing washed up downstream with all the other wreckage from the stage. Seems likely it was dragged into the collapse and got swept along with it. Guess the cap who built the stage will know for sure if this gizmo belonged there, right? You don't know when to give up, mortal. A jar? Oh, yeah, unbelievable what she's packing down there. Well, there's a flame of flounder design. What is it? Build the diagram. The falling water pushes down this contraption. It would tilt the wrong way. No water could flow into the jar. But the Shishiyodashi had a ballast attached to one end. This way the tube would tilt downward toward the jar. Gah! Yeah, I'd say I've got that curse of yours just about exercise. No, far from it. Begin with, according to your own claims, the timing of the stage's collapse was quite important. Sure, the whole point of this was we're looking away from Iku's dead body. However, this method would not allow for the setting in motion of the device to be timed. Just like it. Aha! So you finally accept the futility of your efforts. This is a diagram. He's missing something. Missing something. This string was tied to one end of the Shishiyodashi. By holding that taut and pulling up the beak, you could stop any water from pouring into the jar. Then, if it was released when the time is just right, the ballast would tilt the Shishiyodashi the other way, and water would start flowing. However, until that moment came, someone had needed to hold this string the whole time. That's what the wedge at the other end of the string is for. You slip this in the door to your waiting room. Once that door is open, the doorstop was released, the whole contraption was set into motion. Ridiculous! There's no proof of any of this is true. Who would have triggered this contraption in the first place? Already know the answer to that. What? Ogasa, right? Satara. Wait, why would she do such a thing? Or was she told about finding Iku's body? Ogasa somehow opened a door that should have been locked. We got inside Iku's waiting room. I see! Because the door was kept from closing shut by that doorstop. God, it's so sneaky. Can't believe they're about to bring divine punishment down on everyone. Iku, you pretended to be getting attacked in your room and made sure Koyasa heard you shouting. Surprise caused you to rush to your room to see what happened to you. At that moment, the stopper was released and the machine was set in motion. And then Koyasa got everyone to come along and we found Iku's dead body. Water pooled in that jar and the stage collapsed under its weight. You don't need to make it that violent. This was the truth. Still, you cling to your convenient fantasies. Fantasies? This is all backed up by logic and evidence. I am a god. A god. We just cut the crap already? I'm embarrassed just looking at you. Who the hell buy that goddamn garbage? What? Your corpse was discovered by Kogasa, and that threw the expo into disarray. After that, the stage fell apart and everyone left the crime scene. And you took your chance to slip out of that room and hide away in Yomu's box. At that moment, Miko caught you. So you had to knock her unconscious. What? Or would that plan not completely fallen apart then after Miko regained consciousness? And she would have witnessed Iku alive? That's why Iku tried to pass Miko off as the one who hit the body. If she looks suspicious, we have a hard time believing her story. It was all to take away Miko's credibility. As it turns out, Miko actually lost her memory of those events, though it seems Iku's plans were not inconvenienced by that one bit. Her memory loss must have been a coinky-dink. They can't actually bank on knocking someone out to do that. Wait! There still remains much for you to explain. Assuming what you have been saying is true, why would the plan of mine, of Iku to Gaius, have been immediately carried out? Have not immediately been carried out. Why don't you stay your hand until it was Toyo Sato no Mimi Miko's turn? Toyo Sato Mimi no Miko's turn to perform. It's true Iku could have set their scheme in motion from the moment the tournament started. No, she couldn't, because Iku planned to pin the crime on Yomu. Yomu's gonna be the first to perform. If there had been an incident then, she'd have an alibi. It'd be possible to frame her. But afterwards, the plan could have been carried out during your turn. That wouldn't work either. Because I wouldn't drag Yomu back to the stage. Of course. That'd also give Yomu an alibi. Right, that's why I had to wait for the third performance, Miko's. Yeah. I never imagine your king of a fuss would have those kind of repercussions. Who'd you think it was? Who put me up to this? Be foiled by something like this. Your divine powers are all made up. The stage's collapse was all just another elaborate magic trick. Greatest warriors ever lived. KO, yeah. Not to mention, Gogasa and Miko never had their bodies hijacked. Everything was smoke and mirrors you set up. Looks like this is the end. Not yet! Oh, gosh. What? Is she still gonna hold out? There's still one thing you have yet to explain. For all that, you still got more to say? No. You got it. It's real. He's about to confirm that right here. Motive. What? No, I mean Miku Nagai's motive. So I've yet to explain this. Hey, now if you keep this up, you'll bear yourself even further. Mwahaha! If you cannot prove... Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah. Not even worth thinking about. You're after this egg-cracking machine. It's a whole incident, so you can get your hands on it. Is there proof of that? I'm sure you remember the scene you made at the opening ceremony. Give the egg separator to me. It was the egg separator from the very beginning. Best case scenario, they hand you the machine at the opening ceremony. You could just fly the coop with it. However, this did not come to pass. So how was Iku Nagai to obtain this machine? So Yuko's plan went first, using a bucket load to fake blood. She created a murder scene in her waiting room. And then when the right opportunity came, she pretended to be getting attacked and screamed so that Gogasa would hear her. I was so surprised by her screams, rushed out the next room over to see what was going on and opened Iku's door. And then the mechanism was set in motion. Or it'd be to find fake blood and get Sokyo? I don't know, kill an animal or something. There's a bunch of, like, fairies, right? Fairies come back anyway. Just kill a fairy or two, right? Meanwhile, Gogasa went to get help and set the venue into an uproar. While everyone was in Iku's room, the time came. Bitch collapsing, the egg separator with it, and everything fell into the river. Get some real blood from Remy? So true. The egg separator floated along and flowed down the river. Alright, to the accomplices waiting downstream. Tenchi had just had to scoop it up. Zika's murder was the only thing on anyone's mind. The egg separator got completely forgotten about. This is the plot this stage's position over the river made possible. How about it, your godliness? I've given you all the answers you asked for. Regrettably, that alone will not be sufficient. Oh, gosh. Question is, fake blood in Touhou, just some fake figures? Yeah, are we seriously not done yet? If all was as you claimed, then Iku Nagai would have needed to know every detail of Yomu Kampaku's magic trick ahead of time. Not plan to use her box otherwise. Oh, here comes the information. If Yomu hadn't used the box or magic trick, Iku would have had no reason to go after her. Well, mortal, can you explain this? Man, you did know about that magic trick beforehand. I've got the evidence to show it. This is the term. I've all gotten a feeling of being watched by somebody lately. I think it must have been because they were actually being spied on. Being spied on? We're gonna make plans for today. Iku needed to know what the other performers would be doing for magic tricks. And that's why she spied on their rehearsals. Or did Iku Nagai not tell you herself that she also felt the same gaze upon her? When I first asked about it, Iku said that she hadn't noticed anything. It was only after... really weird that she'd forget such a strange experience so easily. Good. Now how about it? Are you gonna keep making excuses? Excuses? You say the most amusing things. I'm making excuses here, lowly mortal. Is you? What else is there? What was that? So far, you've found just the right junk, arrayed in just the right way, and said just the right things to make your mad theory seem plausible. Evidence! Show evidence proving your fantasies are true and my divinity is false. You're kidding me! Why don't you go show some proof you're real then? I've said my piece already. It is no less valid than your dubious denials. Damn it, we're gonna keep going in circles at this rate. You can insist you're the god egg, or you're the god who actually exists to the bitter end. They're backlogging this game. I can't access it during these trial scenes. I can only access it during normal conversation. Trust me, I've tried many times. All I have to do is simply scroll up. It's really easy, but it won't work during these. Naturally. And the whole deal with the God Egg's divine will and everything that happened with the incident, you should be able to make sense of it all. That's not everything right here. So be it. Okay. My divine decree was that those who disrespect eggs be punished, and that the unholy machine which they glorify be undone. Furthermore, to ensure such a travesty never occurs again, I would take Iku Nagai as my vessel in order to rule over this world as its overlord. To that end, I took the body of Kugasa Tatara and compelled her to murder Iku, destroy the show stage with my powers. Afterwards, possessed the body of Iku in order to place it in the box. That moment was witnessed by Miko. So I took hold of the hindrance, erased her memory, carry out the box. And that's it? Indeed. Are you satisfied? Nope. I'm going to be cross-examining you now. You not see your struggling is futile? We don't know that unless I try. I'm going to banish that evil god no matter what it takes. The unholy machine, that's the egg separator. Indeed, that infernal device which cleaves apart the seeds of life. Destroy it. You ended all life yourself. Ain't that a bit backwards? A single life has been taken so that many others could be saved. Oftentimes, accomplishing great things requires great sacrifices. I guess it's a good thing nobody actually had to be sacrificed this time around. You'll be ruling over us from now on? Yes, such is my mission. You think people at Tokyo are going to bow down to your tyranny? Your hopes and wishes are meaningless. In the face of my full power, you'll have no choice but to obey. I think this has been so many times you can't do any part of it. I think from the order, this is actually, I think, supposed to take place after the first game, but before all the others. But I could be mistaken. The fact that the file for this game is specified as 1.5 makes me wonder. Some domineering god she is. Wait a second, if you want to pin the crime on Yomu, why didn't you make her do the deed in the first place? Certainly that would have been most expedient. However, I found that I was unable to control her. Perhaps it was due to her nature as a half-phantom. Oh, now, this god's not so almighty after all. Even gods have their strengths and weaknesses. and say nothing. Whoa, whoa, did I explain the whole trick a minute ago? I will not acknowledge that chicanery of yours. It was undeniably my divine power at work. It's just dumb. Again, in fact, I won't solve anything. Yeah. By the way, why'd you... Oh. You get a guy with her esteemed position, an unimpeachable character, and stunning beauty was the most suitable to act as my vessel. And thus here I am in all of my splendor. Glory. This is why I selected her. Should come up with all the reasons you like on that one, huh? I took all the hindrance, erased her memory, had her carry Gyakuten guy to the box while I was at it. Wait, you erased Miko's memories? Is there a problem? Come on now, since when did you do something like that? You can't just keep giving yourself new powers whenever you need them. That ain't fair. You may say whatever you please, the fact remains she lost her memory. Isn't that a little weird? What is it? First of all, let me make sure. The murder weapon that killed Iku was some tree branch you picked up somewhere around here, right? That's correct. Then why is there blood on Miko's spear? You were planning to frame Miko originally, right? Because she knew my secret, to ensure she would not be believed. Wait a minute. Did you erase her memories? That's... The explanation's getting awfully muddled. Oh, great God, Iku Nagai. It's God Egg! Yes, I'd hoped to keep this a secret. That spear is bloody because Toyosato Mimi no Miko attacked me. She must have been horrified to see the body of one who should have been dead suddenly come to life. And on the spur of the moment, she stabbed me with a spear she had in hand. Doesn't look like there's any other holes on you. By sheer chance, the fool pierced me in the very same spot this body was once impaled. And thus there was only ever one wound. If you could walk around yourself, why make Miko move the body? Did you not heedlessly damage my precious sacrificial vessel? I thought to take a bit of revenge on that unjumped charlatan. Petty god she is. Anyway, the truth is you were attacked by Miko back then. Indubitably. Then add that part to your testimony. Very well. You were attacked by Miko. Indeed! Remember her demonic grimace. That's one hell of a mental image. In any case, I could not overlook her trespass. If you use Miko's body to move the corpse. That's correct. That'll make sense. Listen, do we have any chance of winning this battle? It's all a trick. We've got a chance. But if it wasn't a trick... It's all like that. Pinch me, because I'm dreaming. Marissa, you come off rather flaky from time to time. I want to hear that from you. Oh. Yeah, that should be shuffling my reprisal. What am I actually contradicting this with? Where bag would release a cat from? Let's just start throwing things. Okay, it's the other one. Yeah. Hey, it's just strange. It's impossible. What on earth do you say? Problem here is Miko's bloody spear. Before coming to Iku's waiting room, Miko was performing her magic trick on stage. Back then, that second spear had already disappeared. And that means she could have stabbed you with it. What? Miko never attacked you. That spear just is trumped up evidence you've made. Wrong! It must be... I was stabbed with the spear that was shown on the stage. In which case, there'd be no longer any problem. It's too bad, but there's a big problem. Well, why? I have proof. Because of the spears themselves. What is this? Check out Miku's other spear that we found downriver. Problem is the blade's shape. It turns out the two spears have completely different blades. We saw Miko use on stage was this sword-shaped spear. The bloody spear we found in her waiting room had a triangle point. It's obviously not the same. It was Sega. She's reanimating the corpses now. I actually think it's Kaneko and Suwako. It's probably a Mariah Shrine conspiracy. If you really think about it. This can't be. In other words, Miko never stabbed you with any spear. You stole that second spear and covered it in blood to frame her. I did not. Besides, a cruel, vengeful god out to punish us wouldn't settle for something as half-assed as erasing Miko's memories. If you really were out to take revenge on all of us Gyakuten humans, you could just killed her then and there. Am I wrong, Iku Nagai? No! Fare thee well, God Egg. Can't believe it was all the works of the God Egg. Why is it Septet? I mean, I love Septet. This is good, but like, why Septet all of a sudden? It's just Renosuke who wants Brisa to not be able to pay him back. Actually, it's Renosuke trying to make himself look cool so he can get with Miko. I'm sorry. Iku, why'd you do something like this? I told her, just to get that egg separated no matter what. But I have no talent at all for magic tricks. There's no chance I could win the tournament. You went through with this elaborate nonsense for that? Forgive me, I could see no other option. But why did they want this machine so bad? The other day I received a letter. It was demanding the egg separator from the magic tournament, complete with a whole plan to steal it. However, there's no need for you to go along with this. Of course not. There was more written in the letter. If I got the egg separator, all of my outstanding bail would be paid. Kaguya, what did you just say? That hits a little too close to home. For the sake of the young heiress's bail money, we had no choice but to obtain that egg separator. Oh, what are you saying? It sounds as you weren't the ones who orchestrated this plan. Yes. Do you truly think I could come up with with this on my own? I cannot even do magic tricks. Oh hell no! We're not doing this again. These two are the culprits, and that's all there is to it. Oh, but the incident can't be said to have resolved yet, can it? There's still one hidden puppet master behind this. That much is clear. What do you mean? Rissa, must have realized it by now. There remains two fatal flaws in your reasoning. What? And they resolve around one single piece of evidence. But in the evidence, there's still a contradiction left over. How about it? You noticed? After all this time, the victim of the very first incident. Contradictions, and the evidence that reveals them. What am I referring to? Where's the contradictions? Alfred Tanishi do a lie, yeah, good killer. Is this it? Not, okay. What if it's this? The stocking. Nope. Oh, I'm at. Oh. What's my contradiction? Why'd you click him? I'm just going through every single fucking piece of evidence right now. Oh, it is! There remains 2 contradictions involving this spear. Yeah, I knew it. I didn't know so else spelled out for me. What are the 2 contradictions? First, that even though this should have been evidence Iku tampered with, she left none of her fingerprints on it. Second, that Iku tried to frame Miko because she witnessed her alive after the stage collapse. Miko lost that spear before she even came on stage. This means what exactly? Over the course of this incident, Iku had no intention of framing Miko. Someone other than her tampered with Miko's things, isn't that right, Iku? Yes, you're right. I think the crime in her was never part of the plan. In other words, Miko was being targeted by someone else. That'd be strange. Who would want to frame Miko and why? To begin with, would pinning the crime of Miko even be possible? What do you say? But too much to swallow, along with the convenient suffering memory loss from being attacked by Iku. Or for Miko's amnesia, the cave would have been solved once Marissa found her. So Miko, do you think you could hide it from us? The truth? Is it true, Miko? Good grief. Everyone was running around trying to solve the case. You were the only one to stay out of sight, out of mind. Then you appeared and guided Marissa to the truth with just the right advice. From the beginning, you were having Marissa lead the charge of the investigation while you chased after me behind the scenes. Using email for you. Mastermind behind everything seemed to be quite cunning. If I acted openly, you were bound to sense the danger. But dolls aren't the only thing I can puppet. Well, if you were the one pulling Iku's strings, that'd make us birds of a feather. Wait a sec. That means you were using me the whole time? I'm sorry, Marissa. Actually, before this tournament began, the Kappa had to deal with many attempts to steal the egg separator. They requested my services as a detective, or to find the one who was after this. Fucking, I'm gonna lose. This is unfucking real, dude. Holy shit. He's at it again. The dev never ceases to fucking do this, dude. It's unbelievable. It's again. This is the second time he's done it with Alice. I'm sorry, Marissa. I was a part of this from the very beginning. I set up the whole incident just for this. I'm gonna lose my mind. Did you say detective? Can't make ends meet with just magic shows in this economy. Private investigator is one of my many. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, after I received the Kappa's request, we came with a plan to lure out the culprit, making the egg separator into a prize. And now the true mastermind has been revealed. If it was Miko, then why? Why'd she deliberately place herself under suspicion? What did I say? Her mastermind this time is a cunning manipulator. She was daring enough to cast suspicion on herself, confident that someone else would refute it. She even played the part of the distressed damsel, even though she's hardly suited for it. Nobody should have suspected her of being the culprit after that. What if no one figured out she could be the killer? In that case, she would only have to stop playing the amnesiac, then she could tell us the truth. If Iku was apprehended, the fact that someone else was pulling her strings could come to light. So this would be Miko's last resort. That's what you call playing with fire. Usually would think to do something like that, would you? This is kind of psychological trap Miko laid. I'm gonna I was playing 6D chess the whole time. Good grief, I'll say it again. Credit is to be given where credit is due. Mastermind strong-arming Tenchi. It was really you? Yes, there's no point denying it anymore. For the egg separator. I heard it was quite the unusual device, since the Kappa so staunchly protected it. I presumed it must be tremendously valuable. Yeah, this is all about money. Yes. With my powers gone, I'm no different from any ordinary human. Of course, I don't have any power to gather faith. In Gensokyo, the people place their faith in only one thing. Sure, you'll understand what I speak of. Guess you mean money? Indeed. Under the court system, in Gensokyo bound by the rule of the law, the power of money trumps all other. Most crimes are glossed over, or minding the paying of fines or bail. If the police made a mistake, make a mistaken arrest, monetary reparations, make it all water under the bridge. In this land, there remains no gods, no saints, no Buddhas. The creed that rules over Gensokyo is that of money. I'm gonna lose my mind. It appears that everything is taken care of now. Whoa, wait a minute. What about paying off my bail? Well, we don't need to worry about that anymore. What's that supposed to mean? These events were interesting enough, so you don't have to worry about getting that egg separated from me anymore. Our agreement was that if you won the tourney, I would pay your bail. Your own sword thingy, yeah. And you accomplished no such thing, so I don't have to pay anything, do I? Yeah, do this to me. Even so, something good for you might still come out of this mess. What's that mean? You made great contributions to the investigation. The police have also recognized that. I fucking hate you. I want you back to where you were a child and we were arguing in office with your panties. That was fun. Well, until the trial ended. Then my bail. Yes, they've agreed to cut it. By half. Why half? Could they just write the whole thing off? You're a repeat offender, after all. Ooh. Oh, this is a chance for me to learn. I'm gonna fucking lose. I'm just gonna this is just... Every case is like 3 or 4. Every fucking case is... This was all so you would be a better person. Everything dates back to fucking the Sinai Reimu trial. That fucking I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't want to live in this kind of Gensokyo anymore. That was the case closed. Maybe the court system was supposed to make everybody equal, but it didn't really work out in practice. For long, lots of other people started longing for the old Gensokyo, so we threw it all out and went back to the old way things used to be. That could fix Brissa. Or Reimu. They also hate Reimu. Don't get me wrong. The dev hates Reimu too. These are just the kind of people who are better off for solving their own differences by flying around shooting bullets and lasers, after all. In the end, maybe the purpose of the core system was to make us realize that all along. I can't read that. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. Massive props to the original art, whoever did that. Was that Sakaki Suika? Suika? Okay, this game was made by like 2 people. This beard guy and Sakaki Suika. Great Rabbit Obama. What? What? Huh? Naked, huh? Can't believe Obama made this game. Suika Yasan. I'm gonna just... This is... The devs other games? Yeah, I should. Shouldn't I? Now here's the question. Is there anything to this? Because there's still technically this, by the way. Because Unzen has been accused of a crime. So we still gotta do this all on Friday. I'm not doing this right now. I just clicked it to make sure it actually, like, worked. So there's still one more. No. We will do that one on Friday and then be done with the Ace Attorney, with the Aya Attorney series, excuse me. Maybe I should play his other games on stream, but that's gonna be it for now.